Before there were cigarettes, before there were brands, there was the leaf. Tobacco is one of the oldest forms of spirit communication known to humanity. Long before modern times, it was understood as a living messenger, a way for human intention to travel beyond the visible world and return with meaning. In the oldest traditions, tobacco was never a habit. It was a bridge, not something used to escape life, but something used to speak with it. Our ancestors knew breath as spirit itself, and smoke was breath-given form. When the leaf touched fire, it awakened. When guided by breath, it carried thought into the unseen. In that moment, intention became vapor, and prayer learned how to rise. It was never about getting high. It was about clarity, connection, making the invisible visible. That's the memory the leaf still carries. Radio Cigars.
Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar. Cigar.
All right. Got a pop-up on y'all today, an early pop-up. Y'all know I do the early speaking on the channel. I let the speakers come on at nighttime, and sometimes I speak early on in the day. Ooh, got a good message for y'all today. We all got a lot going on as usual. That's the times we live in, where there's a lot going on. That's just the times that we live in. I want to start out with, well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat as y'all load in. This is a pop-up, so a lot of people are just finding out that I'm live. I haven't been live in a while. I was at the in the Atlanta, the Malcolm X Festival this weekend. I still got some footage to upload. I will probably upload that later on today. But there was a lot happening out there. That was dope. Shout out to everybody that was out there. Somebody said, best YouTube channel. Indeed. Indeed. Shout out to the 363 Empire and shout out to all of y'all for supporting. I want to start out with, let me show a video real quick. Let me show something real quick. When I seen it, I didn't know if it was AI or not, because you know everything is AI. And then I seen Billy post it, and I seen another person post it. I'm like, I know Billy Carson do a lot of vetting before he posts stuff. So I just wanted to share this. There's supposed to be another UFO disclosure, UFO files released to the public. This one is supposed to be a jaw dropper. You know, this one's supposed to have everybody like, wow. The first one was very underwhelming for a lot of people. And a lot of people like, okay, whatever. The footage looked like it was from Atari days and stuff like that. But this next leak, they're going to really try to impress the public. They're going to really try to wow the public and get the public's attention. So that it's going to be coming real soon. It might even come today. It might come today, tomorrow. Who knows? But let me share this video with y'all real quick. We're gonna get into some good information tonight. But let's get to this video real quick, y'all.
Those have been recovered, and what they found inside, shocking. 4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us. Experts speculate the Reptilians are scaly with long tails, like a lizard. Insectoids look like a praying mantis. The Greys look like your classic movie alien, and the Nordics look like a regular Swedish guy, but 7 feet tall. We haven't seen the evidence, but Pete Hegseth says more evidence is coming, and there are a lot of believers in Congress.
I have seen evidence in a skiff that leads me to believe there are things we cannot explain, and I have observed things that are of non-human origin and creation. That's my opinion.
Releasing the files isn't easy. They've been hidden for years, and a lot of people want to keep it that way. A dozen scientists have either gone missing or died. Now, we don't know if that's related, but people are scared to talk.
Let me get this off the screen. All right, so they got the second UFO disclosure coming. Trump is going to release some more files. That video from Fox News sounds like a YouTube show that Billy Carson did 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a Billy Carson YouTube show from 7 years ago, 2020 or something, 2019 or something like that. And you got to say to yourself, wow, what's going on with all of this stuff coming out right now? And I'm here to say that they are flooding the market with fentanyl laced consciousness. Let me say this again. They are flooding the internet with fentanyl laced consciousness. For those of you who know about drugs, cocaine, heroin, I think even the vape pens and whatnot, a lot of it is being laced with fentanyl right now, and people are dying from it. And it's a way to sell somebody something that they want, but put a lot of poison inside of it. So the fentanyl is killing off a lot of people. I've had friends that did drugs and they were victim of fentanyl overdoses. Fentanyl ain't no joke. They're doing the same thing in the spiritual community. This is why you have people like, and I wondered, I made a comment, I said, what the hell is Tucker Carlson doing, talking about everything that all the occult stuff that I'm talking about on my channel? What the hell is going on? I was wondering that at first. I'm like, what is Tucker Carlson doing talking about the occult? What is Candace Owens doing talking about the occult? And all of them started out of nowhere, the internet. There was probably about 50 pages talking about the internet is flooded with people talking about the occult, people talking about esoteric, people talking about aliens. Everybody's talking about the Anunnaki now. I swear I remember when Rod Hayes first came on my channel, Billy Carson first came on my channel, and they were talking about the Anunnaki. Of course, people been talking about it. You know, you got Delbert Blair, you got Dr. York or whatever. But when they came on YouTube, really talking about it hard, nobody was really talking about it like that. There was people here and there. You could pretty much hear about the Anunnaki anywhere you go on the internet now. Any race, everybody's talking about the fallen angels, the watchers, the Nephilim, the giants, the Anunnaki. And it's like, okay, that's dope, but I'm trying to figure this out. How did this happen so fast? And I know that there is a great awakening happen, but their model is, their new model is, if you can't beat them, join them. So they're like, we can't, and we said this before, you can't stop the great awakening, flood the market, put our product out there with the fentanyl in it. You got to remember, even people like, you may say, why do people gravitate? The Nature Boy documentary's out, right? Why do people gravitate to Nature Boy? Some people may say he's charismatic. Some people may say Brother Polite was charismatic. And one of the things that's important to realize about these people who are deceiving the public is that they're not just blatantly lying to the people with all lies. They're mixing a lot of truth in with the lies. So Polite was one of the sharpest brothers I met. And he had a lot of information. He just chose to go the other direction with it. And the formula for people who want to deceive, people who want to manipulate, they can't just blatantly lie to you. They got to put some truth in there. So when you see Tucker Carlson and you see these people talk about these topics, you'll say, wow, that's dope. Yeah. This, that. But the agenda is, I know I have to give you some of the truth, but I'm going to give, wait till you see this. Wait till you see what I hit you with. Wait till you see what I'm coming with. And they come in with a bunch of bullshit. They come in with a bunch of bullshit. But like I said, the consciousness is being flooded. It's fentanyl laced. Be very, very, very careful about all the information out. It's first of all, it's overwhelming. There's so much information out there right now that it's overwhelming. So not only you have to, just for your sanity, you gotta be careful about what you're watching, but you'll get caught up in something because it'll sound similar to something you've heard from a Bobby Hemmett, you heard from a Delbert Blair, you heard from a Dr. Valentine, but there's a whole agenda behind it about why they're even telling you what they're forced to. They're forced to. It's sort of like, you got to understand, every time period requires a different method of control and propaganda. I'm going to give you an example real quick. Nick Fuentes, big time white supremacist online, alleged white supremacist online, goes around saying all types of negative things about black people. And, you know, I guess you would call him a Spaniard. I don't know. Is he from Cuba? I don't forget. I guess you would call him a Spaniard. He don't look like your typical blonde hair, blue eye, racist. He's like one of them Spaniards. But he came out one day and he said something interesting. He said, I wish I had the video. I should have queued the video, but I just thought about this. He said, we don't need tokens no more. He said, we don't need tokens no more. You know, tokens are the token Negroes, like the Candace Owens. Nick Fuentes said, we don't need that anymore. We can speak for ourselves. And what's happening is that, even though some people may say he's a token, what's happening, and this is just an example I'm bringing up, within this example is that because of the time we're living in, black tokens aren't in high demand like they were during the Obama administration, during the Clinton administration, during the Bush administration, during the Reagan administration. You know that Jesse Jackson, Keep Hope Alive. Tokens were very necessary because white supremacy wasn't as blatant. Because we're in different times now and the clock is ticking, and Trump has changed the environment, the atmosphere with his brashness. Tokens are very necessary right now. White people could go out there and speak how they speak, and white people will still follow them. Other races will still follow them, and black people on top of that will still follow them, because at the end of the day, we're so programmed, we don't know up from down, a lot of us. So he said something that's important. I'm making a point. The tokens aren't needed, but they were needed 10 years ago. Why are they needed now? Because we're in different times. Back to what I was talking about. What Tucker Carlson is doing and many others, they couldn't do 10 years ago, but they have to do now because the time requires it. Each era requires a different approach. So they're using a different strategy for the era that we're in. They can't stop the wave that's coming from the cosmos, but what they can do is manipulate it. I won't even say manipulate it. What they can do is try to the best of their ability to fool the public about what's going on and the energy that's hitting the planet. So every time period, you will see a new strategy from them. They're not changing. They just have to adapt to the cosmological times. They're not changing. They just have to adapt to the cosmological times in order to still be successful at what they're doing. The fortunate part is that regardless of how much they adapt and how much they strategize, their time is up. Their time is up. So one of the beautiful things about the disclosure, and a lot of us, including myself, is that we were taught by, we weren't TikTok taught. We weren't, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we were taught by Bobby Hemmett and Dr. Delbert Blair, and we have a different approach from some of the younger people. And I would advise anybody under the age of 25 to go watch lectures specifically, and I'm saying this specifically, from C. Freeman L. Especially. He's at the top of the list. He's up there. He doesn't get mentioned that often. Anybody, as a matter of fact, anybody under 25 or over, watch lectures from C. Freeman L. He's at the top. Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Delbert Blair. I would say those three. Watch lectures from those three. I would honestly say the best archives of classic conscious information, since everything is getting so diluted right now. And I'm not saying no archive or nobody's perfect, but the best sources right now, and I'm giving them, this is an alley-oop to them and what they're doing. First of all, Minister Clemson Brown passed away. Transatlantic Productions. You go to Transatlantic Productions on YouTube. Also, Serious Times Media on YouTube. She even got some of our shit we did. She just take everybody's shit. I seen her with some Dr. Francis Cress Wilson lecture that was in Brooklyn, New York, that I filmed for Brother Shabazz. Shout out to Brother Shabazz. But that's just, I forgot her name. I used to order VHS tapes from her way back in the day. I forgot her name. And her name is right. Because Bobby used to talk about her and talk about how he's partnered with her for certain things. And I don't even know if that sister still run it, but I'm old enough to remember that. But she has a hell of an archive, and I think she keeps some of it on Patreon. Serious Times Media, and she got a hell of a C. Freeman L collection on there. And Transatlantic Productions. Those two channels have amazing content. Somebody said, hold up. Somebody said, got my cigars today and smoking one right now. Appreciate you making up for the inconvenience too. Sending energy your way, King. Peace and love. Yeah, I appreciate you too. Yeah, if I'm gonna make it right. If I don't get it to you on time, I'm gonna make it right for you. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make it right, and I'm gonna hook you up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hook you up for anybody out there. All right. But yeah, had to say that. You know what the thing is though, with them doing this and with the alien disclosure, what's interesting, this is very interesting. There is the biggest quantum shift of probably the last couple of 100 years. I don't know. I'm just saying that to say that it may be 1,000 years, because this quantum shift is so big, but there's a shift happening internally right now. And you know what's the best way I could describe it? The best way I could, because the alien disclosure, another reason for it, besides them flooding the market with fentanyl laced consciousness because they can't stop the wave coming in, is also to distract us about what's going on inside of us. And that sounds so, I don't know if fairy tale-ish is the word, where I don't know the proper word. Maybe you can help me to describe the awakening that's happening inside of it. Because I know a lot of people think, oh God, here goes the superpower talk again. Brother Rich is going to talk about the superpowers being activated again. Oh God, we heard this for the last 3-4. Yes, you're going to continue to hear it. It's real. It's real, y'all. We're not making this shit up. There's something going on inside of us. You know what I thought about? The best way for me to describe what's going on inside, and I thought about it because I've been experiencing it, especially a lot this year. And I said, it feels like, you know how when you go out in the sun and the sun beats your ass up, you love the sun, you want the sun, and it feels good, but it's exhausting at the same time. It feels good, but it's disorienting at the same time. If you stay in the sun and it's 100 degrees and you out there for 3 hours, you're gonna be like, whoa, shit. Man, whoa, okay. But you're gonna enjoy it. It's like a pleasure. It's like a pleasure you enjoy, but it's beating you up at the same time in a way. It feels like an inner sun. It feels our awakening, our ascension, our remembrance, whatever you want to call it, it feels like an inner sun. The same symptoms that I experience outside when I'm in the sun, I'm experiencing internally. Where it's like, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. Then you get like, oh, shit, I gotta sit down. I did too. You're like, oh shit, oh man, I gotta sit down. You that it's real, it's powerful. It's so powerful. We think it's just gonna be, it's like this beautiful thing, and it's beautiful, but it's strong. And there's many things I have said, yo, I'm gonna do it, and it just sat me down. It just sat me down. So, and I know I haven't. I know my personality. I know who I am, and I know how I maneuver, and I know that when big changes is coming in my life, I've experienced this before with a big change, but I feel like this one is a little different. This one is different, and I feel like there's an inner sun that's charging us inside, and that's the reason for the exhaustion. That's the reason for the tiredness. It's the same inner outer, as above, so below. It's the same thing from the external sun that we're witnessing. It's an internal sun that's heating us up. And the thing is, for those who aren't ready, just like the sun may burn people, it may burn you inside. And you may experience symptoms like burnout. You may experience symptoms like, you know, you lose your mind. Or you just, you know, you go a little crazy or whatever, you know. It depends on how much sun you can handle. Certain people can't handle a lot of sun. People got to hide from the sun. People got to put on shade. So the people who are, you know, the people who want to hide from the sun, they wear sunglasses. They put on the shade. They got the umbrellas. They put on the sunblock. The way to hide from this sun is distractions. The biggest way to hide from this sun is to distract yourself. You won't have to, you're still experiencing it. You can have the umbrella in the shade. You still get the sunlight, but you're doing your best to distract yourself from it. What we're doing right now with society, they want to distract you from the sun that's shining on the inside of you through distractions. You're still feeling it, but it may hit later on, or you may not get where you want to get. But there's an inner sun, y'all, right now that's going to work on us. And what I feel like is that rest is a big priority right now. And we live in such a hustle culture where everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, wants to grind, and everything is so expensive right now. Groceries, rent, mortgage, taxes, property tax. You buy $1 million home, you spend $10 million on a home, you still paying property taxes. If you don't pay that, they still talking about they could take your 10. What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? I just paid $10 million for this home, and they talking about, well, you got to pay this state tax, this property tax, and it might go up. It might keep going up, but if you don't pay that, you thought you was good because you had a fixed rate mortgage. No, nigga, the property tax is still there. So it's like there's so many bills, so many things that people like rest. Rich, I can't rest, Rich. But I promise you, we need a little rest at this moment. We need a little rest at this moment. And this is why the main thing they want us to do is to get us riled up. Alien every day, every week is something new. Every week is something new. But we got to recalibrate to our new identity, our new timeline, our new system, and get some rest, y'all. Stay hydrated. Because I see the game that's being played. I see the fentanyl. I see the spiritual fentanyl that is hitting the market. Tucker Carlson. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm Tucker Carlson doing spiritual shows. Big time white supremacist Tucker Carlson. Where if anybody got killed by police, he said They will pull up their prior record and say, well, he got arrested 12 years ago for smoking marijuana. He wasn't an upstanding citizen. That motherfucker. Fox News. So it is the inner sun that I feel like we got to really pay attention to at this time. And I feel like now more than ever, we got to get more sun. Now, because if all of our heads is down on our phone, nobody's head is going to be up. Once again, if all our heads is down, whose head is up? Nobody's head is up toward the sun, because you can't look at the sun and look at your phone at the same time. So if we're this got to be the mark of the beast. And I hate to say that because it's a great tool, but at the same time, well, I've never seen something affect humanity like the cell phone. I've never seen something affect humanity the way the cell phone does. Never. Nothing that I've known has hit the planet and has conquered the perception and the mind of humanity the way the cell phone does. This is some powerful shit right here. This cell phone. So if you're looking at this, you can't look up. You got to make up your mind. Who you want to look at? The screen or that portal up there? Because that's a portal. And light is information. This is what I'm saying. You could get information from YouTube, right? I feel like we all got to cut down on our YouTube exposure. The exposure. We expose ourselves to YouTube. So I wish that this is my suggestion. You don't have to follow. Why is my daughter sneaking in? Oh my God. My daughter her mother doesn't even know she's in here. Hi, man. What are you doing in here? Your mother doesn't even know you in here. My daughter just stuck in here. We really got to cut back on the phone, and this whole reality is a screen. You know why? You know why it's a screen? Because the same way our computer screen is blank and we could type in whatever frequency or website or frequency, same thing, and go to it. Because this is a screen, the way we type in what we want to see is through our thoughts, our emotions, and our intention. Wait, I gotta get my daughter out of here. Oh, give me 1 second, yo. I'm heating up. Give me 1 second. Let me show my baby girl. Hold up, little mommy, come in. Say hi. You gotta go. Look at my little daughter. She snuck in here. You gotta go. I know I'm working. Shayna, Maymay's in here. I know. Give me 1 second. Yo. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. All right, shit, had to get man. All right. So what I want to say, let me just go toward this UFO disclosure. And I'm privileged to have been taught by Bobby Hemmtiit, Dr. Delbert, Blair. Shout out to everybody who, I'm young enough to still be active and to be doing what I'm doing and to have the energy that I have. Because your passion for what you do is important. And sometimes when you get older, you lose your passion, whatever. But I'm at that age where I'm still very passionate. So I'm young enough to still have that and to be so active to raise my children. But I'm old enough to have sat at the feet of Bobby Hemmtiit and Delbert Blair. I'm old enough to have interviewed Bobby Hemmtiit at my house. I'm old enough to have let Bobby Hemmtiit stay at my apartment when I was in Harlem. And when he came to LIU. These are memories that I have building with Bobby Hemmtiit, talking to him personally. I'm old enough to remember that I picked Bobby Hemmtiit up from the airport. We was chilling. I remember my brother, shout out to Amun. I picked up my brother Amun. He came with me. We picked up Bobby. We went to East West Bookstore. Bobby always wanted to hit the bookstores. We went to East West Bookstore in downtown Manhattan with Bobby. We got some books. Then we went back uptown to Harlem because our moon was staying up in Harlem too. So, pardon me. So I'm old enough to remember that and to have experienced that, and to still be a part of the awakening that's happening right now. A big part, still be at the top of the food chain, and I'm thankful for that. I've and it's different when you hear somebody speak and you be in their presence, because you're in there. I believe they call it their aura. You're in the presence of their aura, their biofield. And the best way to learn is just to be in the presence of somebody who already knows. You pick up on their energy. So me being in the presence of these people made me who I am. I'm like, I accumulated throughout the all these years. I accumulated so much energy from just being in the presence of people that it has benefited me tremendously. And this is why I make it my duty to give back to all the greats. My only thing I wish is that I wish Bobby and Delbert were still around so I could assist them. And one of the things with our teachers, they sacrifice so much. They got to make sure they could pay their bills. That's one thing about our teachers. They when you enter the information, you give up the world. So it requires people like me and a lot of other people to make sure those brothers is good. So if anybody know about my channel and what I do, I make sure the people that come on my channel is good, and everybody know that this 363 Empire is an economy. One day we're gonna have our own currency. That's a future conversation. One day we're gonna have our own currency, but that's a future conversation. But I have my own. I have an economy that I'm working with now, and I wish that I could have helped them. I wish they were still around, and that's selfish to say, just so I could help them more, because I knew that they maybe have felt underappreciated. But Delbert Blair was on video many times giving me props, saying, Brother Rich has helped me. He's one of the ones that helped me. Bobby Hemmtiit, I've assisted. So shout out to them, and I can't be selfish. Say, I wish they was around, because they got to be where they got to be, and I got to be where I got to be. We on different journeys, different timelines, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to them, but studying under them and being in their presence, I don't fall for what probably a lot of people will fall for in the internet era. They wasn't around during this internet era. With these entities and this new alien disclosure that's coming. Oh my God. Number one, like I said, it sounds like an old Billy Carson episode on this channel with the reptilians and the grays and the notice how they said the Nordics. There's never no black people, never no black aliens. The Nordics, fuck out of here. But what I would say is, if any, and this is me speaking from this realm, if there's extraterrestrials or whatever non-human entities coming, because we're all non-human entities, and I'll get in that in a little while. But if there's non-human entities coming, we ain't gonna trust you if you come through the government. If the government first gotta announce the evil guys, and then they're gonna announce the good guys, and they're gonna say we made contact, and they're gonna tell us we want to introduce you to some of the extraterrestrials we've been working with, we don't fuck with you. A lot of us. Respectfully, as they say. They'd be like, respectfully. Let me say for me, I ain't fucking with you. Anybody that got to come through the Epstein gang, any entity, I don't give a fuck who you are. Inky and Lil, all these names we hear, Tahuti, whoever, any entity that comes through the Epstein gang, I ain't effing with you. Nah. I ain't effing with no entity that comes through and makes their grand, any entity that makes their grand appearance through the Epstein gang. Nah, I'm good. I'm good on you. I'm good on you, homie. I don't care how many fancy tricks they could do, or they could fly and they could disappear, reappear, and a 12-foot dragon appear, whatever. Because this is the thing about real light workers, right? Real light workers that came down here universal soldiers that came down here to do what they got to do. We don't have this fear of this thing that they call death. This is why we got involved with what we involved with. There's not a fear of death. There may be maybe something there where we'd be like, damn, if I gotta go, you know, my family. But ultimately, we understand what this is. You know what I'm saying? We really, really understand what this is. So this idea of these advanced entities coming here, we don't fear it. We understand that we are what you would call and there's so many analogies, right? And I wrote something down here. Because I was reading, and we are what you would call in technology terms. They're always comparing us to computers and technologies and radios and this and that. We're what you would call a localized node. What's a localized node? Let me read this off the screen. I'm gonna read this off the screen. All right. A localized node is a specific point within a larger network or field where energy, information, consciousness, or activity becomes concentrated or expressed. Think of God as a field, right? Think of God as a field. So a node would be a connection point within that system, that whole system, that whole network, a connection point. And when it's localized, it exists in a particular place. So, you know, when you look at the internet, I'll give you an example. When you look at the internet, family, the internet is this large network, the World Wide Web, right? And then when you look at, I just talked about the phone. When you look at the phone is a node within the internet. The phone is a localized node within the information network we call the internet. It's an individual expression of a much larger interconnected whole. This phone. That's what we are. So you can't kill me, nigga. This expression is just a localized node like this phone. It's a temporary expression. That's expression. Expression. I'm like, it's a temporary individual expression of a much larger interconnected whole. So the web, so check it out. The internet, hold up, give me a second. The internet, we use the internet as a conduit to express information from the web. We use our body as a conduit to express God information. You can't kill God by killing the body. Imagine if let me give an example. Imagine if I was talking to, let me just use Rod Hayes as an example, on the phone. I was talking to him on the phone, and he said something that got me mad. And I said, Rod Hayes, motherfucker, be quiet or I'm gonna kill you. And he might say, how you gonna kill me? And I'm gonna say, through the phone. And I start beating up the phone, and I take a hammer and I hit the phone. He'll start laughing. Like, this nigga crazy. All I did was kill the temporary expression, the localized node, but that was never Rod Hayes. So if somebody takes out Brother Rich, you really did take out Brother Rich, the consciousness, who I am. I'm the best in the universe because there's only one. You can't take me out because me is we, nigga. You can't take me out. Me is we. As soon as you take me out, there's another one and another one and another one. So if I take Rod Hayes out of the phone, I get another phone, he's still there. I get another phone, take that phone out, he's still there. I get another phone, take that phone out, he's still there. I'm on my 7th phone. Rod Hayes, take that one out. This nigga Rod Hayes keeps popping up. This is the entities they know, the messiahs, the chosen ones, they just keep popping up because you can't take us out. But what you can do is make us think we are the phone. What you can do is make us think we are the bodies, but we're not. It's just a way. This is how we're expressing ourselves. It's just an expressive point in this realm. The biggest The biggest game you could ever run on a culture is teach them about death. Once you teach somebody about death, you can control their consciousness, because you can install so much fear in them that you could get them to do whatever you want them to do. This is why Brother Panic was so important, because he talked so much about death. He made us comfortable with it. And it's uncomfortable for a lot of us to talk about death. And my point in saying that is that no matter what they present us with, no matter who pops up, we know who we are. We them boys, we them girls, we them gods, we them God. We are it. We are source just expressing itself. And this is where the jealousy and the hatred comes from other entities, because they don't want us to awaken. They don't want us to awaken. So my point is saying that is saying, if the entities got to come through the government, I'm good. I'm good. The Epstein gang, I'd rather you come through Bashar, that Middle Eastern dude. I'd rather you come from Jane Roberts, who channeled Seth, the white lady. I'd rather you come from Abraham Hicks, the white lady who channeled what Abraham Hicks? What was the name of Abraham Hicks? What's oh shit. Abraham Hicks. What was Abraham Hicks channeling? You know Abraham Hicks. Come on, help me out, y'all, real quick in the chat. Esther Hicks. Her name is Abraham. Her name is Esther Hicks. Yeah, right. So her name is Esther Hicks, and she was channeling Abraham. I'd rather hear them than hear the government make these big announcements on what they found. I trust what they said more than them. And I know that I know the contact could come through a white person or a black person. I know that. Because like I said, we're conduits. So, and the reason what makes white people have the access that they have had is that their openness. They haven't gone through the indoctrination. They're more open. They're more willing to participate in channeling. Black people, nigga, hell no, nigga, fuck out of here, nigga. You ain't get your ass up out of here, nigga. You ain't coming through me, nigga. I don't want to hear shit, nigga. You know what we talk, nigga. You know, especially a black American, nigga. I want to hear. You know how we do. But a white person is very open. Like, sure, you want to use my body? Wow, for how long? A week? Sure. Am I able to come back? Like, we could learn from each other. They have this curiosity about them. You know, where they're just like, okay, sure. Okay. You know, but yeah, my point is, like, I'm not anybody. If you got to come through the Epstein gang, I don't care who you say you are. You remember Tupac? Tupac had that song, Hit 'Em Up. Remember Tupac? And he had that song, Hit 'Em Up, and he was like, if you're old enough to remember Tupac back in the 90s, and Tupac was like, fuck Bad Boy. You talking about Biggie and Puff. He was like, fuck Bad Boy as a staff record label and as a motherfucking crew. And if you want to be down with Bad Boy, then F you too. I feel like that with this extraterrestrial shit. F the Democrats and Republicans as world leaders, as positions of authority, and as moral authorities. F them all. And if you want to be down with them, then F you too. So if there's any entities that's come standing by their side, F you too, nigga. You know what I mean? That's coming from a light worker. That's coming from a primordial being. You know what I'm saying? So we're not messing with that. I know a lot of us who are students of Bobby, Panic. Y'all, did y'all hear Panic? Y'all see how Panic gave it up? Panic gave it up. We ain't falling for that shit. I don't care what y'all. We ain't falling for that. So I want, but this is the beautiful thing. This is the beautiful thing about all this. This is opening up the melanated man and woman's mind to have contact. 5 years ago, our mind was a majority of us' mind was completely closed to the possibility and the idea of having contact with an interdimensional, extraterrestrial, or whatever you want to call it being because of all this, is because it's in the mainstream now. It's opening up our perceptual awareness. So the people who could channel, do some serious channeling, their perceptual awareness is open to do that now. So I want to hear some stories. I want to hear about the black Jane Roberts who channeled Seth. Jane Roberts did a magnificent job of channeling Seth. One of the best books I ever read was from the book channel from Jane Roberts. She channeled Seth, the entity Seth. What's that book called, y'all? Yeah, my chat is brilliant, so y'all know everything. The book from Jane Roberts where she's channeling Seth. What's the name of that? What's the name of that book? Oh, shit. Seth Speaks. No, I know. Seth Speaks. Yeah. It's two of them. One of them is Seth Speaks. Somebody said Seth Materials. No, Seth Speaks. It's called Seth Speaks. I got it. Brilliant book. Amazing book. I mean, that need to be in next week. Oh, next week I'm actually doing the book review of where's the book at? The Bruce Lipton book review. I'm doing that next week. Somebody said they're channeling demons. I mean, what you got to do, I would advise you not to follow this channel. This channel may not be for you. But I know it's tempting. I know something inside of you. You know, it's like I use it. Unfortunately, I got to use this as an example all the time. You know, say I watch gay porn and I'm criticizing the gay porn as I watch it. There's something in me that's attracted to that gay porn, hands down. So there's something in that individual that's attracted to this channel. They can't admit it because of the program. They're too deep in. When you're so deep into a certain program, you're attracted to it, but you don't want to admit it. So you'll just watch it and criticize it. That's what happens. When you're so deep into another program, but you're interested in another program, your ego does this trick where you watch it, but your ego criticize it to convince you that it's okay to watch it. Nah, nigga, you interested in this shit. You like this shit we talking about on this channel. You know, they used to say, there used to be a saying during the television era where they used to say sex sells. Right now, hate sells. So you'll see people making all types of hate videos on other people, but it sells. The hate sells. The same way sex sold in the 90s, hate sells in the 2020s. So if you act like you hate somebody, you can sell some views. That's the name of the game we're in. But like I said, because I came under Bobby and Delbert, I understand about that inner son, and I understand what I'm feeling isn't normal. And I understand at the same time, this intense feeling is coming over me that they're having all these big announcements on the television, UFO and disclosures and whatnot, and none of them are going to look like me. They're going to talk about Nordics and Greys and reptilians and this and that. And we know, come on, y'all. If they don't listen, y'all. So, but for those right now, we got 1,500 people in here. So I want to play this video that I started the show with, just so y'all can see what I was talking about to start the show. There's about to be a new disclosure, and scientists are claiming that there's 4 types of aliens that exist. So there's going to be a new Trump is going to do a new disclosure. It'll probably happen definitely within the next 2 weeks, I would say. And I'm just talking from the perspective of somebody who is educated and sat at the feet of a Dr. Delbert Blair, of a Bobby Hemmett, who knows better than to listen to the fentanyl lace consciousness that is hidden the World Wide Web. Y'all got to remember what I said about the web and the phones. The web is a field. You got to think of God as a field. The web is a field of information, and our phones are individual nodes that can express that field of information. God is a field of information. That's why they say light is information. KT has came on this channel many times and said light is information. Light codes, Dr. Valentine said. God is information, and our body is individual nodes like our phones or our tablets or our computers that expresses that field of information. You can't kill the information. You may damage the TV. You ever see somebody break the TV at Super Bowl? They didn't stop the Super Bowl. They just broke the TV. Nigga, we the Super Bowl. We the biggest event in the universe. They can't stop this. They could damage the TV. But we need to be re-educated about this thing we call death. I would advise people to go back. I don't know if Brother Panic's channel is still up. And shout out to Khadijah. I talked to Khadijah 2 weeks ago after I posted that Panic video. And hopefully I could get her on here before the end of the year. But shout out to Khadijah. Shout out to Panic. He did a wonderful job of teaching us about death. This death thing got us going along with the script. We are so scared of death. Nigga, some of them slaves, when it was time to go, before they went out, nigga, and I don't even want to say that because there's so many weirdos out here. I was about to say what some of the slaves did, but we got the nature boy weirdos out here that will twist anything you say and say, well, you got to do this and you got. And I'm gonna talk real quick about the nature boy thing. I might talk about that in another video, but let me play this video because I started just talking. Let me play this video. Wait, hold up. Oh shit.
Those have been recovered, and what they found inside, shocking. 4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them greys, Nordics, insectoids, and reptilians. All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us. Experts speculate the reptilians are scaly with long tails, like a lizard. Insectoids look like a praying mantis. The greys look like your classic movie alien, and the Nordics look like a regular Swedish guy, but 7 feet tall. We haven't seen the evidence, but Pete Hegseth says more evidence is coming, and there are a lot of believers in Congress.
I have seen evidence in a skiff that leads me to believe there are things we cannot explain, and I have observed things that are of non-human origin and creation. That's my opinion.
Releasing the files isn't easy. They've been hidden for years, and a lot of people want to keep it that way. Dozens scientists have either gone missing or died.
All right. So, how much time we got? All right, I'll probably be on here for about 20 more minutes. So, the thing is, you got to understand this. Whether it's, and I just mentioned individual's name, Nature Boy, right? Whether it's Nature Boy, whether it's say extraterrestrial gets introduced to the public. There's so many people. It could be Brother Polite, whoever. I'm just using him as an example because they recently did a documentary of him. Somebody said, "Why not invite?" Things take time. Why not invite Derek? I've reached out to his camp, and I'm sure they haven't seen my email yet, but things take time. I would love to get him on here. I would ask the best questions on planet Earth if I got him on here. Questions he never got asked in his whole entire life. So yeah, it's gonna be classic. Once he's gonna get on here, it's gonna be classic. But yeah, just ask if I've don't say why not. A lot of people act like I'm purposely dodging certain people. But yeah. I'm gonna invite the brother's gonna get on here eventually. What I was gonna say was, listen, probably about 45% of the people who watch this channel and who are watching right now, there's 1,600 people here. Maybe 40% are looking for people to worship. So when you hear about non-human entities, people gonna go crazy. People are gonna drop to their knees to worship. If a nigga come out and he's 8 feet tall, and he could do a couple of magic tricks, and he got a pet dragon on his right side. They said that's how, what they say? They say that's how the Atlanteans got tricked. Because they said the Atlanteans fucked up. You know, and like I said, you never know because history is so tainted, the stories. But they said the Atlanteans, the Draconians told the Atlanteans, yo, we got this technology, whatever. And then the Atlanteans got drunk on their own power. And that's how that, you know, when Rod Hayes talk about the shit that happened 10, 11,000 years ago, that nuclear war, they got drunk on their own power, they say. But they was introduced to certain things by reptilians and other species like, yo, y'all could do this, y'all could do that, y'all could do this, y'all could do that. So you got to understand who we are, where we come from, and you can't fall for somebody who even comes with technology or spiritual technology or whatever. I would say you got to use your intuition, but a lot of us don't even have intuition. I'm convinced at this point, a lot of us don't even have intuition. So for me to beat y'all in the head about intuition, things like that, some of y'all don't even have it. 45% of the people watching this channel is probably born to worship. There has been so many cases where speakers that come on this channel and the people just end up worshiping them. And I'm like, what the fuck? I have somebody on the channel or I seen somebody on another channel. Next thing I know, he got a whole group of people worshiping him and doing all types of weird shit. Family, if y'all knew the things, I won't even bring up some of the things. Some of the people that I have had to turn down with some of the weird shit that I found out. And even not even that, some of the people that have been on this channel before that y'all may not see on this channel. Not everybody, but it's weird shit. Weird shit. And I'm not the gossip type to go, but I just, you know, everybody's free to do what they want to do in this realm, but you just may not be a fit for my channel. But shit always gets back to me. So I hear about weird shit. People email me. People email me receipts of conversations and all that. People send me shit. So I see the shit. It's just like with Polite. People tell me shit. You know what I'm saying? And I made the decision to do what I had to do with Polite. That's when I got in contact with Red and Blue, and they knew what was up. They was going through the same thing. People reaching out to them. We like, yo, you know, we gotta, you know, exit ourselves from this brother's presence and aura. We have to distance ourselves from this brother. We no longer want to be associated with this brother. And we did a video, and it caused a lot of drama. But we did a video, and we like, yo, it was Red and Blue. We was in Brooklyn around Memorial Day. I remember it. But I was talking about the Nature Boy thing, and you know, whether it's Nature Boy, whether it's the extraterrestrials, whatever, a lot of people are born to worship, and there's nothing we could do to stop that. Nothing we could do to stop that. I was watching a little bit of the documentary, and the folk, they taking trips back and forth, giving them debit. Listen, man, it's not 1975. We just got out of slavery and segregation or whatever, and we not in our right state. People know what they're doing. People know what they're doing. People with Polite, and I don't mean to keep mentioning him. People would not support something. Say you have an event for $20. People will tell you, oh, no, we're not supporting that. They hear some slick shit from one of these individuals, they'll give up $5,000 and be a part of a cult. Then call you and be like, come save me. And you be like, the fuck? You be like, how did you get that deep in? Listen, people going to have to experience what they have to experience. This is just a hologram at the end of the day. Obviously, I don't support anything these individuals is doing, but these are grown, consenting adults who are signing up. Some of them was giving, these women were giving up their children for this nigga. You know what's weird though? You know what's weird, real quick. Why is it that when we hear about all these things, and I'm not saying all these brothers is guilty or whatever. I'm not saying everybody's it, but a lot of brothers that are associated with teaching or aligning themselves with the divine feminine teaching, right? They get caught up in some shit. They get caught up in some shit. And it's always some sexual shit. It's always some sexual shit. Predatory shit. You got to understand. A lot of brothers, and it's not, and I'll get into the sisters, this whole divine feminine paradigm, just like Tucker Carlson is going to manipulate the paradigm that's approaching, a lot of people are going to manipulate this divine feminine energy that's hitting the planet, male and female. It's not just the males, it's the females as well. And I'll give y'all a little game, because game goes a long way. If people didn't give me game, I wouldn't have made it to where I wouldn't have made it, because I wouldn't have understood certain things in the streets. They told me to watch out for certain things. So I would tell y'all certain things to watch out for. But with some of the dudes, it's like, damn. It's like they almost pandering. It's like the dudes that the game plan is, I'm a pander to woman. I'm a pander to woman, right? Get them emotionally hooked. I'm gonna give me 3-4 wives. Then I'm gonna let the demon out. I'm gonna let the monster out. So don't get caught up because somebody is good at reciting information that they learned from somebody else. Don't get caught up in that. No. Whether it's Nature Boy, Polite, whoever. But a lot of the brothers, I noticed that I'm like, what is the connection between this black woman is God? Next thing you know, so-and-so has been arrested for 14-year-old. And you're like, what the fuck? I thought the black woman was God. What the fuck? The fuck happened? What happened, nigga? Wasn't a black woman God? You would have fought a 13-year-old? Gotta be careful. We gotta be careful with the pandering. And it's even, like I said, it's with, like I said, and the reason why I'm talking about this, because this is one of the biggest paradigm shifts besides the black-white dynamic, where black people are realizing that they are who the so-called small hats portrayed to be. That's a huge thing. Another dynamic of this paradigm shift is this feminine energy that has been suppressed for various reasons. So many reasons. Go to Vicky Dillard's channel. You could read about it. So that's a big thing going on right now. So people are getting in on it, men and women. I talked about the men. Let me talk about the women. So you got let me rewind a little bit. We had the Black Power movement, right? In the 60s, let's say the Black Panthers, Black Americans out here, Black Panthers, whatever, doing what we got to do because, we not standing for the shit no more. And the white woman, what's her name? Gloria what? Tell me her name, y'all. I know y'all. I got a genius chat. Gloria what? What's her name? Tell the black woman, yo, the men this, the men that, whatever, because of the relationship they had with white men. Our households was way better. Everything was way better. I'm not saying things was perfect, but things were way better back then. We start listening to the feminists. All of a sudden, you see the condition we in right now. Gloria Steinem. Yeah, Gloria Steinem. Yeah, Gloria Steinem did a great job brainwashing black women, telling them about men and shit like that. We got the new age Gloria Steinems. We got new age Gloria Steinems out here that's manipulating, just like Tucker Carlson or just like Nature Boy or Polite, this divine feminine energy. And the reason why they're manipulating, they want pussy just like the men want pussy. So the men are manipulating because they want 3-4 wives. They want pussy. And I'm pardoning the language. But we got the lesbian goddesses out here Me and Red Pill talked about this. We got these niggas out here that's manipulating just so they could get some. We got the lesbian goddesses out here. So there's a huge infiltration of lesbians in the conscious sector that want pussy like Polite. They want as much pussy as Polite or Nature Boy or even more. They want to be the box queen. They want to be the box queen. So you got to watch out on both sides with them, because the topic, it ain't going nowhere. This divine feminine, it ain't going nowhere. So what people know subconsciously, like Tucker Carlson knows, is if you can't beat them, join them. Let's talk about this shit, but let's twist it how we could twist it. So you got to be real. It's you got to use your discernment with everybody you listening to these days, because you got the lesbians out here and you got these degenerate Negroes out here looking to manipulate this whole new paradigm that's about to unfold. The thing about me is that, and the reason why I can spot it, and I can spot that shit like that. My whole life, I've never had, when it comes to the feminine end, I never had a problem with my mother. I've been in a relationship for over 20 years, and I'm not old. I'm not young, but I've been in a relationship with one woman for 20 years. Got a good relationship with my sisters, got a good relationship with my nieces and my little cousins or whatever. So my shit is there. My relationship with the divine feminine is there. I take care of my lady, like, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers see what I do, women, and they like, yo, I need that. You know what I'm saying? So the whole pandering thing, I think it comes from you know, they do that. They know they're not doing it in their personal life, so they want to portray it in their internet and in their personality, in their internet personality, you know, or on camera or whatever. But you know, yeah, just because just because somebody's pandering, whether it's man or woman, and that has to be said. That's important. Pandering just don't come from degenerates like Nature Boy or Polite or whatever. It comes from the lesbians too. They're pandering because they want the pussy that Polite and Nature Boy want as well. They want this. They all want the same thing. So you got to be careful for anybody that's pandering. And then you talk to them on the personal shit, and all of a sudden it sounds weird or uncomfortable. You know, be aware of anybody on social media, family, because like I said, the internet is being flooded with fentanyl laced consciousness. Use your discernment. In fact, if this video don't resonate with you, I would highly advise for you to turn off immediately, like right away. But it just may not be. You may want more of something else. You know what I'm saying? That's just, you know. But you gotta use your discernment. And there's energies hitting the planet right now, so people gonna be hustling to manipulate how you feel about that, the energy hitting the planet, whether it's divine feminine, whether it's black and white, whether it's aliens. Tucker Carlson might not never show a black alien unless they call it a demon. The only time Tucker Carlson to show a black alien is if it's labeled as a demon. The white one, they'll just say, "Oh, a Nordic." Let a alien come down looking like blue pill or red pill with the afro or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or the braids. They say, "Oh, the demon is here." You know what I'm saying? They'll quickly change the name to suit their agenda. So you gotta be careful with everything, with everything hitting the internet right now. There's a huge awakening happening inside, and yeah, the internet is being flooded. There's nothing anybody could do. Like I said, whether it's you talking about aliens, you could be talking about the divine feminine, you could be talking about anything, a spirituality simply or whatever. It's hitting the planet right now. It is definitely hitting the planet right now. Damn, some of my Buddha's been off camera. Why you ain't tell me some of my Buddha's been off camera? I need to show my I need to show my Buddha. But yeah, y'all. Yeah, want to tell y'all that, you know, and there's a lot of red flags to watch out for when it comes to like the and you know, just talking about Nature Boy when it comes to individuals like that. But I'm not gonna get into all that right now. But y'all know, y'all have heard about the red flags and y'all know how to spot them. You know, one of the ways is that, you know, they can't take criticism. You know, you know, ladies, and even brothers, if you listen to somebody and say you on the phone with them or whatever, even if you got a mate or something and they're into different mate, just as a test, don't agree with something they saying. Watch what they do. Just as a test, don't agree with something they say. You know, because a lot of people get in relationships so they could be teachers and they want to teach and they want to, you know, they want their ego to shine. So they'll find somebody so their ego can shine. I need my ego to shine. Let me find a good victim so my ego can shine. Just disagree with them. Not even saying disagree, just be like, oh yeah, I don't know about that one. And watch how they react. Let's just see how they react. How do they react if you tell them, yeah, I don't know about that one. Oh man, I got to research more on that. You not listening to me. You think you know what you know. You don't. You be like, oh shit, thanks for showing yourself. Wow. You know, a lot of them, they can't take criticism. They can't stand for somebody to disagree with them. So there's ways to find out who you're listening to, who you're in a relationship with, and whatnot. You know, a lot of them often lead with I'm the reincarnation of such and such. And there's nothing, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, saying you're the reincarnation, but a lot of them lead with that. They lead with that strongly, like that. That's their strong talking point. I'm the reincarnation of this. That's why some people teach and they say, oh, by the way, I'm, you know, from what I know, I'm the reincarnation of such and such. Bobby, I mentioned Bobby earlier. Bobby Hemmtiit told me he's the only speaker who I talk to, I know on a personal level, who say, yo, you are such and such. He said that. He said something like that to Miss Blue too. I heard him say on Miss Blue said to say. But Bobby was saying that about certain individuals. He would read your energy. He say, yo, you the reincarnation or the energy of such and such, the energy of such and such. You know, it's not like I will take that and lead with it. I would never even mention that. That's not even worth mentioning. Let me see. Hold up. What's up? Am I still live? I don't see my chat moving anymore. But yeah, it's not even worth mentioning. It's, you know, the work is what needs to be done, and I need to concentrate on this lifetime. You know, I think that's more important. What's more important than focusing on a past life is focusing on what you're doing this life. Because sometimes a lot of us, we get these readings and we're so caught up in who we were in a past life that we don't get shit done in this life. So the amnesia it could be a blessing and a curse. In terms of a blessing, it could be a blessing in the sense that it causes us to continue to create and be innovative and inventive and strong and courageous or whatever. We're not just fixated on the past. So yeah, I don't mind in this realm forgetting who I was, because I want to be who I am. I like this movie character. I wanna be this. Why is in my chat? Is everything all right? Can y'all hear me? Because the chat hasn't moved I see people in here, but the chat hasn't moved in 5 minutes. Let me go out and come back in, y'all. Because I don't, I don't even know if I can't even, if I say, can you hear me? I can't even see your answer. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me go out and come back in. Give me 1 second. Oh, see, now I see somebody said we hear you good. See, I didn't see all of this just now. Okay. See, I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that. Okay, but so that's basically what I want to say. I mean, I'm a student of Bobby and Delbert, and Flabrun. Shout out to Flabrun. I had a brilliant, amazing show with her about a week and a half ago, and she reminded me of Delbert. He was a teacher of hers, and she's brilliant. And shout out to her. I would advise y'all to follow her channel, get updates with her. But there's people in our community, you know what I'm saying? Like, if these extraterrestrials can listen and they're so advanced, be so advanced to know that we ain't listening to nobody who come through the Epstein gang. Imagine if Nature Boy introduced me, y'all. Imagine if, you know what I mean? Y'all know how, imagine if I got introduced to y'all through Nature Boy. That's the equivalent of a non-human species coming through our government. Talking about, hey, humans, I'm here to help. Imagine if I'm on his Nature Boy's property in Costa Rica, and I'm like, "What's up, y'all? I'm here to help." In Costa Rica, next to the rest of his crew, y'all gonna be like, y'all gonna see through that. Why would I listen to anybody who come through the government? I know y'all gonna announce the bad ones look like us, the good ones are Nordics, and they look white and blonde. And why would I listen to any of y'all? Why would I even be? It's not even listen, be interested. If y'all here now, y'all been here. I got to get back to me, what I'm doing. This inner sun. See the chat stop moving. Okay. No, here you go. 6:15. Damn. Yeah. Can y'all hear me? Let me see if this chat move. Damn. Somebody, y'all crazy. Somebody said they be like, I'm the reincarnation of Cleopatra. I'm like, nah, more like Miss Cleo. Wow. That's crazy. Yo. Oh, that is crazy. They said, nah, more like Miss Cleo. You ain't Cleopatra, you Miss Cleo. Wow. Oh man, that's a good one. That is a good one. Wow. But I swear I can't, I don't want to be the conspiracy theorist and say let me see. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason my chat wants to access for some reason my chat isn't moving now. So I'm like, it's throwing me off. Cause I don't even know if I'm live because I don't even see how many. Yeah. Wow, this is crazy. Yeah, I don't even see how many people are live right now. Let me call King Simon. This is crazy. This has never happened before. I can't even see the amount of people that's live. Let me see. Shout out Miss Cleo in the stream. This is so weird. I'm gonna call King Simon and ask King. I don't even know if I'm live right now. I really don't know if I'm live right now. It won't even tell me. Like, usually if I could at least see how many people are watching, then I know people are in the chat. I don't even see how many people in the chat. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yo, you live, man. 1,400 people.
King, I'm still live. Yeah, yo, King, my chat stopped working, and you know how it says how many people in the chat? I can't even see it, so I didn't even know if I was live or not.
Yeah, you live. 1,400 people. We all saying you live. You live. You good.
Yeah, I don't see any of that. Yeah, that's why I don't see any of that.
Let's keep on talking to end it, and when you start doing another one, you'll check it later.
Okay, all right, okay.
We listen.
Got you, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
Peace.
Yeah, I just wanted to check with King Simon because my chat stopped working, and I don't usually you're live because in the upper left hand corner it says how many people are watching, and the number keeps moving. So people are live, and people are coming and going. So you at least know you're live, but there's no number there. I done came in and out 3-4 times, and my chat doesn't work no more. So that's why I'm like, I don't want to be on here just talking to myself and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to wrap it up anyway. We know what time it is. Y'all heard the message. The message is there. Family, I think that there's an inner sun activated inside of us. And I feel like we are experiencing the same symptoms internally as if we were outside in the sun externally. Some of us are feeling disoriented. Some of us are feeling fatigued. At the same time, it's not just bad, but at the same time, we feel good in a way. We feel the sensation of fulfillment. When the sun hits you, you feel complete. When the sun hits you, you feel complete. You feel like you don't need nothing else in the world when the sun hits you. You don't think about bills. You forget about everything. When you're on the beach and you're on vacation, the only reason we go on vacation is that sun most of the time. Most of the time, we go to get that sun. So we feel complete when we're in that sun. When I was in Jamaica, wherever I was at, I'm going to get that sun. So when we get that sun, yeah, we feel fatigued and disoriented because it's hitting us so hard. Man, I remember I was in Jamaica. That sun was hitting me so hard. Ooh, that sun. And I've never, you got to understand, I've never wore sunscreen one day in my whole life, ever. I never will wear sunscreen. I'm going to go my whole life. That is a flex. That nigga, I don't wear sunscreen down on planet Earth, nigga. You know what I mean? I don't do that. Sunscreen, nigga, we don't do that. But that sun, and when I was in Jamaica, I mean, it was hot. Oh my God, it was hot. But I was enjoying every bit of it. I mean, you know how you gotta. I had to be careful. I'm gonna tell you, to be honest, I had to be careful when I go in the water. Because if it's like 105 degrees outside, right, and I'm under the sun, I'm good, right? But if I go in the water, like let's say I go in the ocean and I come right out the ocean and get in the sun, that shit, it'll feel like I'm baking, nigga. So you gotta dry off. I gotta at least dry off, nigga. I'm not that sun resistant. If I go right in the ocean and I just come out and lay that nigga, that water, that sun hit that water, nigga, I'm like a frying pan, nigga. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, oh, so you gotta, after I get out that water, I gotta dry off. Shit, melanin or not, nigga, that shit is, I'm baking. So, but I ain't. It's beautiful. The sun, I would say we need more sun than we've ever needed our whole lives. We should make it our mission. And if we're on a different sun, I call our sun right now the diamond sun. That's just what I call it. For my information, there's nothing I would stress or say continuously, but everybody has their different research. But the sun that we're under now reminds me of a diamond sun and what I hear about the diamond sun. So I look at it as the diamond sun, and I would just say that's the most important thing right now. If you consider watching this video important because you're getting information, remember, I just did this whole thing about light being information. KT has talked about it on his channel. Phil has talked about it on his channel. A lot of people. So get as much sun as possible right now. If you're feeling away, don't worry about it. Like I've had to, like, I want to move at a faster rate this year, but and there's other reasons why I got some apps, and just working with Black people have been a little more difficult than I expected, but that's a whole nother conversation. But in terms of the energy hitting the planet, it has slowed a lot of us down this year. And it's a good thing because we're elevating the places that we didn't know we was going. and I look forward to it. And shout out to all the light workers out there. The thing about this information, family, when you see the people coming and going, you see somebody pop up, then you see somebody disappear, or you see somebody caught up in a scandal. The spirit of this, I don't know if you call it the black conscious community or the black spiritual community, whatever. It has a way of eliminating those who aren't authentic in a short period of time, and you won't see them last very long. You know, this spirit don't play. So, you know, I would say if you're not coming from an authentic space, don't even get involved. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to take on, to do what I do, and to take on so many different spiritual energies from so many different systems, so many different schools of thoughts, so many different people watch, so many different things being said. You know, these are spirits coming from everywhere. This person believing this person believing that, this person believing that. It takes you got to have a certain, like I said, I'm a universal soldier. Like, I'm down here. This is not me. This is just I'm the computer. I'm the biological computer representing a greater field. So, but because I'm tapped into that and I'm focused on that, and I got to give praise and credit due to my lady, you know, me being a family man and having family life. I said this over and over again. It enables me to be great. But I couldn't be a family man if I didn't have a family to be comfortable with. You can't be a family man if you ain't got a family to be comfortable with. And I'm not saying things is perfect. I just say, listen, I've been in a relationship 20 years. I've had my shares of ups and downs. I've called King Simon like, King Simon, this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my 20s like, King Simon, this bitch. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what happens. You're a parent for 20 years. You go through ups and downs with your children. You know, you understand what that means. It don't mean you don't want to be a parent. It means you understand what it takes to be a parent. So if you want to be in a relationship, you understand what it takes. It don't mean take abuse, but it understand know your limits, and it understands no love, and understand no boundaries. And there's so many things you got to understand. And but if I didn't have that, I could never be what I am, because my mind would be so scattered. But my mind, I'm laser focused. I've been laser focused. I've been doing this for 20 years, I think, y'all. 18, something like that. I've been doing this since I'm like 20 years old. I've been doing this since I'm like 20 years old, y'all. I'm 20 years old interviewing, I think with Sonetta, Arlene Bay and shit. I've been doing this since I'm like 20. I've been doing it for 20 years, y'all. Or something like that. So it's like you don't get to do this long and still be at the top of what you do without, you know, doing something right, having a formula that's right. And I'm focused, and I want y'all to be patient with me, because I do have some important announcements I'm going to make. I just, you know, I got slowed down a little more than what I thought I would have been. You know, my ego wanted to do certain things. And you know, my spirit said otherwise. You know, and I just had to slow down with certain things. Not in a bad way, but just in a way, you know how you're absorbing when you know, it's like when your computer's getting an update. It's, you know, and I compared our bodies to as a biological computer. When your computer's getting the update, it tells you turn off the computer to update. I can't update myself and have 15 windows open on the computer screen. I've said this before. Many people have said this. So, you know, my computer's a little turned off in order for me to get this update. But I promise you, this update is going to be the update of all updates for not only myself, but for y'all as well. I just ask y'all to believe in that inner vision. I know what the outer vision is telling you, but believe in that inner vision, because this update, and we're biological computers that we are getting, it requires a little bit rest. So you may feel like you're not making the movement that you want to make, but the rest is essential for this update. And trust me, it's on and popping from there. The reason why they are saying all this crazy shit that they're gonna come out with, they know you're updating, you're resting. We haven't reacted to they coming out with ice and all this shit. We ain't not reacting how they want us to react, and they know we're updating. They need to get our attention. They need to get our attention, which is our currency, focused somewhere else. So they're gonna come up with all types of shit. But we're updating. We are updating. 2026 is the year. I started out the year. Remember the first video of the year I put on, and it was a clip from TikTok, and I forget if it was a sister or a brother. They was like, yo, why I'm so tired? I'm sleepy. I'm this, I'm that. We're updating, family. We're getting our updates, just like your computer gets its updates. Yeah, it is what it is. But let's continue to do what we got to do. Let's not overexert ourselves, and let's not stress if things aren't going exactly how we want to. Remember, time is an illusion. Once we get the update, shit may go so fast. You know what they say? They call when people blow up on TV, and they call it overnight success. They call it overnight success. And the people who experience that overnight success say this overnight success was 15 years in the making. Nobody sees the 15 years of struggle, perseverance, and everything that you put into. They just see the overnight success. A lot of us are going to experience overnight success, but this is a result of all the work that we've put in. But to the masses, it looks like that. But to us, we know we put in work for a while to get to this level. So yeah, like I said, family, this is the first time ever, my chat isn't moving at all. I've gone in and out. Somebody text me. Who's this texting me? You live? I don't know what this is. But yeah, the updates are here for our interface. This is our interface. The updates are here. We are getting updated, family. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to be live again. I got that channel panel coming. I keep saying that, but I got it covered. I got the channel panel coming. I should do it this Friday. I should set it up definitely this Friday, because that would be a good follow-up to this conversation. That would be an awesome follow-up to this conversation, the channel panel with a group of channelers. I want to get the sister Yaya 777 on there, because I've been meaning to get her on the show anyway. I'm gonna get some brothers on there. I tell you, the brother Adewale, Yaya 777, a couple of other people. Probably I want to get about 6 people on the panel. Yeah, about 6. Probably get about 6 people on the panel. But that'll probably be one that I might try to do that this Friday. It's Wednesday the 20th. I got some more footage I'm gonna upload from the Malcolm X Fest in Atlanta, so I'm gonna upload that. But yeah, we students of Bobby and Delbert. Whatever this next is gonna come. This new UFO file dump is coming any day now. It's gonna be a big one to a lot of people. But remember what we've learned from Delbert, Bobby, Phil, C. Freemanell, all of them. It's inner first. You know what I'm saying? And we know what they about. Their time is up. But we're not following anything that goes through the Epstein gang. You know what I'm saying? If you're associated with the Epstein gang, we ain't fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, you know what I'm saying? But this is just crazy because I'm talking and I don't, nothing's moving here. So I'm like, it feels weird because I'm like, am I, I don't even know, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I called King, and King like, yo, you live, but it just feel weird talking right now because nothing is working. But we the champions, we the best. We yeah, we come from source, y'all. We big timers. We big timers. Big face hundreds. Y'all know what time it is. I wish I should play that song, but I ain't got it. If I had that song queued, I would play it. Big face hundred gang, you know what I'm saying? You know what time it is. Brother Rich is going to get out of here 6:35. What is it? 6:35. Yeah, I'm getting out of here. I need to get out of here at 6:36. That's what I need to get out of 6:36. All right. But I'm getting out of here, y'all. Peace and blessings. I will see y'all definitely Friday. Maybe tomorrow, but definitely Friday. I think I'm definitely going to try to not try. Got to get that word out of my vocabulary. But I'm definitely going to set up that channel panel, make it happen, and tell y'all about some other announcements and things coming up real soon, y'all. All right. Appreciate y'all. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Peace and blessings.
Before there was cigarettes, before there were brands, there was the leaf. Tobacco is one of the oldest forms of spirit communication known to humanity. Long before modern times, it was understood as a living messenger, a way for human intention to travel beyond the visible world and return with meaning. In the oldest traditions, tobacco was never a habit. It was a bridge, not something used to escape life, but something used to speak with it. Our ancestors knew breath as spirit itself, and smoke was breath-given form. When the leaf touched fire, it awakened. When guided by breath, it carried thought into the unseen. In that moment, intention became vapor, and prayer learned how to rise. It was never about getting high. It was about clarity, connection, making the invisible visible. That's the memory the leaf still carries. Radio Cigars.
Radio cigar. Radio cigar. Radio cigar.